tonight on Cox Forum.
For more than 25 years, the American Cancer Society Relay for Life has given millions of people the opportunity to celebrate, remember, and fight back. You're going to be hearing about this year's events, and you'll hear about how you can join the movement for more birthdays by participating in a special study. That's all coming up right now on Cox Forum. Welcome to Cox Forum. During this first segment, we're going to meet a couple of folks wearing purple shirts here to talk about the Relay for Life, and as we mentioned, a very special study, a landmark study that the American Cancer Society hopes will be as important as two previous studies. We're going to hear about those studies from folks like Denise Matson, who has been with the Relay for Life for a while, and she's also part of something called CPS3. In fact, she is the chair. We'll be hearing about that. And also welcome Steve Bell. He is lead volunteer for Relay for Life, and he is also a cancer survivor. We're going to be hearing about his story in the second half, but first of all, you're going to tell us what the Relay for Life is, right?
Well, Relay for Life is really, it's a nationwide effort, actually international now, Terry. It's a 24-hour event that is held in over 5,000 communities throughout the United States and 32 in Orange County here. And it is a fundraiser, but like you said earlier, it's also a means for us to celebrate survivorship, remember those that have fought the battle, and to vow to fight back the other 364 days of the year that we're not relaying.
What's the significance of the 24 hours?
The significance of that is that for a cancer patient and their family, they are dealing with cancer 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. So what we try to do is show some it's a symbolic meaning that we're trying to take 24 hours out of our lives to also show solidarity with those that are fighting the disease.
Denise, who can participate in this?
In Relay for Life?
Yeah.
Anyone can participate.
What
It's a great opportunity, like Steve said, to show your support for people you know that have battled cancer and survived, and to show remembrance for those that you've lost. And anybody, we're looking for anybody, children, adults, older people, everybody's welcome.
So this thing goes on for 24 hours. Usually, what's the time commitment for an individual in something like this?
Well, it really varies. We have some people like ourselves that are there for 24 hours, and then we're involved in the planning of the event most of the year. But then we also have people that just want to come out and walk maybe an hour on the track, or participate in some of the many activities that are going on during the relay, because it's not just about walking around the track. There's also awareness we're trying to raise in education about the disease. So there's a host of opportunities for people that want to be involved.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned there are more than 30 of these events going on in Orange County. One that you've been focused on is the one in Mission Viejo. When is that taking place?
The Mission Viejo event is taking place on June 4th and 5th from 10 a.m. Saturday morning to 10 a.m. Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm. And how can people find out more information about that?
The easiest way to find out about the Mission Viejo relay is to go to ndrelay.org. If they want to find out about other relays taking place in Orange County, they can go to relayforlife.org.
Mm-hmm. Well, what's the rough time frame of, she mentioned that the Mission Viejo one's on the first weekend of June. When are the rest of them generally held?
Well, what we call the relay season generally runs from around March until September. I think the last event that we have in Orange County is at the end of September, which is the City of Lake Forest relay. So if you can't make to our event on June 4th and 5th, we have a bunch of other relays that you can certainly participate in.
I know, looking at the website, a big part of this obviously is individual effort, but there's also a lot of teams involved as well.
That's right. This year we have 42 teams involved, and I think we're up to 200 and some participants that are registered, and there'll be a lot more registering up until the actual day of relay. Last year I think we had about 500 or 600, maybe more.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, relay is really a team event, so you form a team, and then you, as a team, you do your fundraising, whether it's individual or team fundraising. There's a lot of different ways that they can raise money.
Now, something special is going on this year at Mission Viejo. Tell us about that.
That's right. Well, the American Cancer Society for the last several years has been enrolling individuals across the United States for a very important cancer prevention study called Cancer Prevention Study 3, or for a shortcut, CPS 3. And the significance of this study is it's going to help researchers better understand the environmental, genetic, and lifestyle factors that cause and prevent cancer.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of commitment are you looking for from participants?
It's a long-term commitment to be involved in this study. So the American Cancer Society is looking for individuals that are willing to make a long-term commitment to the study, individuals between the age of 30 and 65, and those who have never been diagnosed with cancer, excluding 2 forms of skin cancer, basal cell and squamous cell skin cancers. You can still participate.
Mm-hmm. So it's interesting, they're looking for people who haven't had cancer.
That's right, because there are certain factors that change in an individual once they've had cancer, and certain treatments and chemotherapy, and so they're really looking for people that haven't been diagnosed so that they can better determine causes and prevention methods.
So part of what's going to be happening is you're going to be watching these people and seeing whether or not they develop some sort of cancer, and see if what's involved in possibly causing that.
Right, and so the way someone would get involved is they would come out to the Mission Viejo Relay for Life, which takes place at Saddleback College. It's actually on the football field, right at the edge of the track is where the enrollment tent will be located, and between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. only on June 4th, they can come out and enroll in that study.
So this is the third one, Steve. What were the first 2 about?
The first 2 cancer prevention studies, well, the first one was in the 50s, and believe it or not, that determined the link between cigarette smoking and cancer, which you would think it's something that comes naturally. Yes. And then the next one was CPS2, which determined the link between I think it was diet and
obesity and cancer.
Obesity and cancer, yes.
And how long is the time commitment? You said it's long term.
Well, it's 20 to 30 years, but the time commitment is really small. I enrolled in this study about 3 years ago, and once you finish the initial phase, your long-term commitment is only filling out surveys that get mailed to your home every 2 to 3 years. Basically, you're just keeping in touch with the American Cancer Society, letting them know what's going on in your life, letting them know about diagnoses that you may have, whether it's cancer or something else, letting them know about your diet, what kind of exercise you're getting, those types of things.
It is interesting, we all assume, since we all watch the medical programs and all the problems are solved in whatever 57, 58 minutes, that some of these things take a very long time to discover. Like, you can still remember watching commercials from the 50s and even early 60s where we had people dressed up as doctors recommending certain kinds of cigarettes. And of course, that first study showed that maybe wasn't too truthful.
Well, that's interesting real quickly, is that the 2 of the key researchers behind that CPS study, one, were cigarette smokers themselves. And so they had to face some hard realizations once the data was there that showed it, the link.
And another thing that's really important about these studies, and the fact that there was a link proven for cigarette smoking, it led to all kinds of legislation. The Surgeon General's warning on cigarettes, no smoke in workplace or in restaurants, and countless other bills that are out there. I mean, I can remember not too many years ago when I worked in an office and I was surrounded by people that smoked. And it bothered me, but there really wasn't too much that could be done about it. You could complain, but then you're going to be the bad guy in the office. And so, I mean, it's a good thing.
Yeah. Let's get back to the relay itself. There's different elements to it, and obviously the walk is part of it. But talk about some of the other things that are going on during the relay.
Well, each relay opens with the celebrate component, and that's the first lap of the event, and that's the survivor lap. So all of us that have survived cancer open the event off with walking the first lap. And then in the evening is the remember component, which is a luminarious ceremony. There are bags that are lining the track, candles, sand with candles in them, and they honor and remember those that have faced cancer. If you want to speak a little bit about the fight back, the last part.
The last part of the event, which comes on Sunday morning, is the fight back part, and that is the time in the event where our participants make a vow to fight back against cancer the other 364 days a year. And that can be anything from volunteering to drive a cancer patient to medical appointments, to just urging a friend or loved one to quit smoking. Just a number of things you can do, just promising to get your own medical screening so that you can prevent cancer in your own life.
Let's again go over, first of all, the general information about the Relay for Life. Again, where is it? When is it?
It's going to be June 4th and 5th at Saddleback College. Begins at 10 a.m. on Saturday and finishes at 10 a.m. on Sunday. For more information, you can go to our website, MV, as in Mission Viejo, relay.org.
And specifically about the study, when can people sign up for that?
Specifically about the study, people could sign up on June 4th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Saddleback College at the Mission Viejo Relay for Life.
Very good. Well, thanks so much to both of you for being with us. Steve, you're going to stick around. We're going to hear about your story of survivorship and hear a little bit more about some of the great strides that have been made towards helping people survive cancer. Thank you very much for being with us tonight. Don't go away, as we'll be right back with more of Cox Forum.